What's going on, everybody? Connecticut fans, you may want to turn this off right now because you really don't want to hear what I'm getting ready to say. Hey, it's your man MP, the number one voice of sports in Las Vegas. This is No Safe Take, and this is the No Safe Take of the week. Great basketball. Great basketball this weekend, well, depending on who you're with. But the way that I see it, anytime that a team can go ahead, handle their business, put one on a team, and make it to the Final Four, I consider that great basketball. The last game, oh my God, great basketball. In Connecticut, this is where you're going to have a problem with me. So I turned the TV on this morning. They're making analogies, and I get to first take. Stephen A. Smith has Jay Will. Jay Will, Duke player, player of the year, drafted number one. Did not have the career that he wanted, but that's okay. Things happen. And in his case, it was an accident. It wasn't because he was horrible. But what he said this morning, I think it was horrible because he came at me. And when I say came at me, because I was watching the TV, I take it like 101 when I'm watching these things. And he had the audacity to say that Connecticut coach Danny Hurley is the premier coach and the coach that every player needs to have in order to get what they need to do in their education as well and from their sports athletic scholarships. He's going to teach you how to be a man. And you know what, man? Come on. Come on. He's okay. He's okay. You know what? He's better than okay. He won two championships, two national championships, and that's great. He's getting ready to go up and vie for his third. But the way that his style is, it only has a shelf life of so long. And, I'm not going to throw Bobby Knight because that was many years ago, but hell, I'll throw in Frank Martin. It got old for Frank. His kids had to tell him to chill out because, Dad, you're embarrassing me. And you know what? Frank Martin, he was a man enough to say, all right, let me step back because I am acting like an ass in order to get what I want to accomplish and try to get into these mans. And he has changed the way his style is, and he may not be a figure because you know what? He's not yelling at his kids anymore. He's helping them become men, but he's doing it in a way where it's tough love, but at the same time, you give a pat on the back at the same time. But looking at Danny, man, his antics, they're going to get old. They're going to get old real fast. And Duke fans, you should really have a problem with last night's game. If we look at that game, at the end of it, Hurley, crazy enough, he didn't headbutt, but he made head contact with the referee at the end of the game. Should that not have been a tech? Call me. Tell me, am I wrong? Am I wrong? It should have been a tech. We don't know what kind of tech it would have been. Maybe a two-shot foul. If that's the case, guess what? Duke wins the game. So what he's getting away with right now, hey, it's going to get old. And if we want to look at coaches who have done some great things and had, the demeanor to carry themselves so much and, not have to yell, we can just look right across the way at Dusty May and what he's doing with Michigan right now. He has taken a team to the Final Four 2 years ago with FAU. Now here he is taking Michigan to the same championship, and he's doing it calmly. The way that he looks, the way he's thinking through things. And it's not just a big antic. He's not throwing theater in there. And not that a little theater doesn't hurt every now and then, but in the same breath, as we talk about this is what you want your kids to be able to do. Learn from someone. Learn to control your antics because we know a man that loses his emotions is a man that's liable to do anything in any given moment under the stress. And in this case, you got to give it to Dusty May. You know what? Hell, I'll go back and even further. We'll look at my man Brad Stevens and what he did. He took Butler to two Final Fours, and he did it being calm. Went up to the NBA, coached the Celtics for a minute, decided he wanted to go up in the front office so he can do some other great things there, and he brought a championship, an NBA championship to Boston with him being the GM, the president of operations. So guess what? It can be done. You can teach young men how to become great leaders without having to yell at them. Another case in point out there, we look at Memphis coach, football coach. Now I'm going to kind of switch up, and what he's talking about, Coach Bell, saying that his kids can't listen to music while they're playing football. While they're practicing. Like, wait, what, coach? These are young men. What are you talking about, man? You trying to separate them from a culture that right now is moving the world in itself, and saying that world leaders or people when they go to war they don't listen to that kind of music, which that has been debunked because we had some SEALs who were on there saying, hey man, when we're out there we're listening to anything to kind of take the edge, take the emotion off. So sometimes you have to just be in your moment and feel a little because life is hard enough, and when those things get hard, you know what, you have to be able to go in and find that inner peace. And I think, Danny Hurley, your inner peace with these kids is going to end sooner than later, because we know acts only last as long as you're winning. Once the winning stops, people have a tendency to go, you know what, I'm good. I'm good. Hey, it's your guy MP, the number one voice in sports in Las Vegas. Tell me what you think. Drop a line. Talk to you soon. Peace.